Rowing's one of those sports that, in the mainstream, if you're not in the rowing community, comes to life every 4 years by virtue of the Olympics. It's not in the Com Games anymore. Profound history. Typically, if you say to someone rowing, they'll talk about awesome foursome. They might talk about other instances and circumstances with athletes in the sport. But to get to meet these athletes, because categorically, and with no disrespect to any of the AFL players and A-League footballers and W-League footballers that I've worked with, the rowers are the hardest working athletes I've ever worked with in my life. Their workloads are incessant. And let me tell you, people talk about loving their sport. Well, in a sport like rowing, and it's so true for so many of the Olympic sports, you're not doing it for money. So more than anything else, you genuinely love what you're doing because your love is not being cushioned or enabled or encouraged by the remuneration of this. You're not doing it for that. And the ability to wear the coat of arms, the green and gold, and go across the world to represent your country is a profound experience. And I was privileged to be a part of that. Because the other basic thing for the rowing team, unlike other Australian teams, and we had a great celebration at Kooyong at the weekend for Davis Cup ties at Kooyong, by way of example, the Australian rowing team essentially never, ever gets a home game. It's a constant away game schedule. So it's regattas in Europe, in China, in America, but never here because the world won't travel here. It's too expensive and too far. So if you sign up to be an Australian rower, male or female, able or para, you're going to have to spend at least 3 months of the year overseas, just from a cost-effective point of view, and you're not going to be able to drop into a regatta in Germany, come home, and we'll go back to a regatta in Holland a week later. It doesn't work that way. That's what the Europeans do. We don't have that luxury. So that's why the ETC, European Training Centre on Lago de Varese in Gavarate in northern Italy, is the home away from home because they literally live away from home 3 months of the year. So much respect for those athletes. Of course, the other key component of my time in rowing was during the COVID era and the build-up to the Tokyo Olympics, which were in danger of being cancelled or then when postponed a year. And the profound story there, again, credit to the athletes, credit to the coaches, credit to the performance team led by Bernard Savage. Australia and New Zealand had not competed internationally for 2 years because we couldn't travel. We couldn't leave our country. But the two most successful teams at the Tokyo Regatta were New Zealand and Australia. And so proud of the athletes and the way they delivered against those extraordinary global circumstances.